Hi, I'm Matthew Mazur, and today, as you can probably see, we got a bunch of PC parts over here. So what are we going to do? We're going to build a computer. Now, let me just make a walkthrough through all the parts we have. We have a Western Digital 1 terabyte hard drive. We got an LG DVD reader writer. We got an Asus NVIDIA GeForce GTX 650 Ti, the overclocked edition to 2 gigs GDDR5. We got the AMD FX 6300, which is an AM3 Plus socket CPU. We got for the motherboard, we have the Asus M5 A97 R2.0. It's a very good motherboard. We got over here Kingston HyperX 8 gigabytes dual channel RAM. We got over here for a CPU cooler, because the stock cooler that comes with this is super loud and very annoying. So we got the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Plus, and this will make the CPU very nice and cool. Over here we have the Cooler Master Extreme 2 725 watt power supply. And for some gaming gear, we got the Mad Cat Cyborg V5 gaming keyboard. This is a wired keyboard. This won't go into the computer, but it'll be used, to play games on. And over here we got our Corsair Carbide 300R windowed edition, because as you can see, there's a window on the side. Alright, so where are we going to get started? Well, first what we're going to do is we're going to prep the case, then we're going to put the motherboard together and plug it in there. Alright, so now we're just going to open up the case and we're going to show you what's inside. So as you can see on the front, we got, let me see, we got two USB 3.0s, we got the front port, the output headset and the input mic, reset switch, power button, and hard drive LED over here. So let's just open up this case. This is a very easy case to open up, as there's just thumb screws. So you just gotta open it up like this. Take out one thumb screw. Two thumb screws. Then there's a little handle over here. You just pull back. There's one side panel off. Now you're gonna want to be careful of the way you place your side panel. You don't want it to get damaged or anything. Just put it there for safekeeping. So let's take off the second side panel on the back here, as there's wire grommets to pass any cabling for cable management. There we go. So this case has 4 slots for hard drives. It has 3 5 1/4 inch bays. It has room for 7 fans, 2 on the top. Well, there's already 1 in the back, 2 over here, and you could also put 2 on the bottom, I believe. So very, very good for airflow. It's a pretty big case. It's actually a little smaller than I anticipated, but still good. Very nice, very elegant look. So there's already 1 fan in the back and 1 fan in the front, which we will be using both of them, because as this is a gaming case, you want to get as much airflow as you can. As you can see, I just popped out one of the 5 1/4 inch blocks. So all you have to do is just slide the optical drive inside. You can just get it on the track. It should be very easy. See how that just locked into place? Normally, there would be in one of the hard drive bays the box for screws, but as I tampered with the case a little bit earlier, I took it out. So I'm just gonna go get that. Be right back. And I got the box that was originally in the hard drive bay. Let's just open it up. Take a quick look what the case came with. So already I can see 4 nylon zip ties over here for cable management. Got a bunch of screws. This appears to be probably a replacement standoff or something. Yeah, this little doohickey over here is probably a replacement standoff for the motherboard or something. So these are all the screws. Now that I put the optical drive in, I have room to put one screw in to make sure this drive's not moving. I trust the locking system on the Corsair Carbide series cases, but because I'm going to be transporting this case around a little bit, I want to make sure that the drive is stuck and ain't going to move. So all I'm going to do is try and get some hard screw. Let's just put it in. As you can see, all you have to do is just put it in the hole, screw it in, not too tight. There you go. Your optical drive's mounted. So now for step 2 of putting everything in the case, we just take out one of these 3.5-inch bays. Now normally you have to actually put the drive in and you have to screw it in, but with these beautiful adapters, you could actually just use this to put a solid state drive, and without buying an adapter, which is beautiful. I love this design by Corsair. It's probably one of the major reasons why I went with this case. It's super easy to install stuff in. Now we just gotta take out the hard drive. Just take it out. So as you can see, this is our 1 terabyte Western Digital drive. Grab your adapter. You got to make sure your SATA ports over here are going towards the back. So all you do is you just align this with these little screws in here, bend the drive a little bit, get it in, just like that. And as you can see, our drive is totally nice and in. Slide it in. There you go. We could probably also put some additional screws in there to make it solid, but I pretty much trust the Corsair design over here. The reason why I put it with the optical drive is because that tends to shake a little more, whereas the adapter sits in here and it's pretty okay to me. So now our third component we put in is the power supply. Now the power supply mount on that case is at the bottom, so we're gonna, since I'm not putting the computer on carpeting or on any big papers or anything like that, I'm gonna have the intake fan blowing in from the bottom of the case from the outside. Now there's a dust filter over here in the inside on the bottom of the case to make sure your fan's not taking in any type of debris. So that's a very nice design by Corsair, very easy to clean. So let's just take out this power supply and put it in. Now what comes with the power supply is a bunch of cables. So this is not a modular power supply, because if it was modular, I'd be able to plug in cables. But you see all these cables. There's a lot. Cooler Master really likes to give you a bunch of cables, I see. Especially for their higher model power supplies. Cables are also pretty long too. They got a decent length. It's a little tangled in there. A little tangled in there is this is the motherboard connector. These are all like, so these are like the mixed up of SATA cables, CPU, and a bunch of other of the PSI cables. So enough about that. Let's just put the power supply in. We'll resume that little lesson later. Got all the cables through the bag. This looks really cool over here. I like the Cooler Master Extreme design. Now, none of the components I put in have any worry about anti-static or anything along those lines. So you don't really have to worry about grounding yourself just yet. That'll be more when we go towards the RAM, the motherboard, CPU sort of thing. So as I said, the intake fan's over here. So we're going to line that up with the bottom. Make sure that this part's facing out. This is going into the case. So I got it perfectly aligned. I got it perfectly aligned in here. So all we have to do is just screw these, screw the screw holes in, and it'll be a very nice fit. It's very flush with the case. I really like that. We have the power cord. Yeah, Intel, give power cords. I was about to get a Nook, but I didn't. Actually, I was planning to get a Nook from my father, and turns out that it doesn't give a power cord. Very depressing. So let's just take out all these little screws. Now, when you're putting in the power supply, I personally recommend you use the screws that came with the power supply, because they'll go into the power supply properly and you won't have any issues. So let's take our screwdriver and just start putting down these screws in here. Now I'm doing opposite corners, which is probably the best way you could really do it. One last screw. I'm having trouble with this last one. Now you can just tighten down the screws.
So
There's
just
your
a
power
little
montage. I just want to show you how flush the power supply is with the case. You can barely tell that there was actually a hole here because of how nicely it goes. So now we're going to assemble our motherboard. So now we're going to put together our motherboard. Let's just take it out of the box. See, so this is the I/O shield. We'll put that on later. These are instruction manuals. We'll take these out. Warranty information. I think we'll just need the manual in case we have any questions later. So this is our board, the Asus M5 D92. So as you notice, I'm grabbing it by the heatsink, avoiding the any circuits or anything like that. I do not want to touch it. Just going to settle it on the box. So this is the CPU socket, the RAM, the two PCI Express ports over here. These are for video. These are for video cards. The I/O ports. We have the audio, Ethernet. Here, let me just turn it around so you guys can see it. So as you can see, we have the PCI 2 slots, USB 3, USB 2, another USB 2, and some more USB 2 with Ethernet connection plus the audio. Very nice. So let's go ahead and we'll put our CPU in. Let's open up our FX 6300 by AMD. So here's the stock cooler. That again I don't want to use, but as you can see it comes with thermal paste already applied with the CPU fan. And listen, if you're like not planning on overclocking and you don't mind the sound, this is a okay fan. Like, it'll still cool it. It's just me, I don't like the loud noises. So here we have our AMD FX and our little sticker that we can put on the case. I will probably not be putting stickers on the case, but personally, it's still a cool little item to have. So we can open this up. Here's our AMD FX. Oh my god. And you can see all those little pins. Do not touch these pins. Do not touch the pins. It's like that song, don't drop that dirk-a-dirk. Don't drop that dirk-a-dirk. So I just have to see where's the socket coming out from. So there, the socket's now unlocked. We could put it in. So there's a little arrow over there, and then there's a little arrow on the CPU. Meaning that this AMD FX goes in just like this. Slide it in. Give it a little nudge to make sure that it's in properly. Do not touch the top of the CPU, that's very bad. Then we can just slide this back into place. And there you go. CPU installed. Now we can put in our RAM. Just referring to the manual, I found the driver disc from Asus, so just set this aside. And I also found out that it's always best to use DIM A1 and B1, which is the two black. So let's just get our RAM open. Very nice Kingston HyperX black RAM. So you always want to take one RAM module at a time. Pop it out. Now fortunately this RAM has a heat spreader. So you could just grab the heat spreader. Now you open up these little knobs over here. Line it up. And you go. There. First RAM module in. So let's go for the second one. RAM black. Open it up, line it up. Line up right. There we go. Both RAMs are in. We got 8 gigs of RAM taking out the Cooler Master CPU Cooler Hyper 212 Plus, but it seems to me it's a little bit more complicated than anticipated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in, then I'm going to explain how I did it exactly, because I just don't want to, it's a little complicated, so I'll get back to you guys. After installing the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Plus, which was a fairly awesome adventure, I'll have a video link in the video notes below on how to really install it. But let's just say like there's a bracket in back you have to put in, and you have to like adjust the screws. There'll be a link to a video of how to do it. But like if you can see, it's pretty much a very tight fit with the RAM, but it's a huge fan compared to the stock cooler. So it'll be a very nice cooler. So anyway, anyhow, let's put the motherboard in the case. As I mentioned before, this is an I/O shield, and it comes with your motherboard. It's basically the little metal plate that you have. So basically what you do is that you have the PS2 ports, you put that on more up, and you have the audio at the bottom, and you just really push it in. So anyhow, let's get our motherboard set down in the case. Let's go ahead and just put the screws in. Now don't tighten them down, just make sure that they're in. My screws are just over here. Now you can just tighten them all down. That's how you just go and put in some of the main power cables and SATA cables so that we have room to maneuver. Connect our power and some SATA cables. This is the big 24-pin motherboard connector from the power supply. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass them back, bring it back up the side like this, and all we got to do is just make sure that we're getting it in properly, like so, and just connect it. Wow, it's already connected and I didn't even realize. Okay. Well, it's connected. So now we can go ahead and connect a SATA cable to the hard drive. So I'll pass them back. I'm gonna go around. Now the SATA cable will connect to the to your hard drive on the bigger port over here, like so. Just like that. Now we can, okay, so I can't really pass it out. Can't really pass it out any farther, so I guess we can just take this out. Doesn't matter which cable you can use whichever one suits more your needs. But I suppose the best one would be for us is to do it like that. I don't know. I think my original prognosis was the best. Yeah, put it like this, and then we can just pass it through like this sort of. We'll rearrange the cables later on. Now we can come back on this side. We can pick up another SATA set of SATA connectors. Oh, here they are. And we can just go and put them up on our optical drive, like so. It's a little bit of a tight fit considering how much space we originally had. Okay, so the optical drive's in. The optical drive's all connected to power. Now we can take out our SATA cables over here. Like so. Now this motherboard has SATA 6 gigs a second connector. So for the hard drive, I want to take SATA connector number 1. So I'm going to look. I'm going to see SATA 6 gig 1. Plug her in. Like so. There we go. You heard that click. We're going to pass them back. pass it in back, leave some cable out, and we're just gonna go connect it right like this, like so. There we go, already done. Now we have our optical drive to connect. So we're gonna, I'm personally gonna take number 3 because I'm thinking of adding a solid state drive, so I might as well just take number 3. So just plug it into the SATA number 3, which is over here. Then we can pass it from back. Pass it from and back, bring it out, and it just goes right in to our optical drive. There we go. So now our hard drive and our optical drive both have power and data transfer. Our CPU connector over here. I'm going to attempt to pass it around and back, but if that fails, I'll just plug it in from the front. Because we got to keep in mind that a video card's going in here, so we got to make sure we got enough space. Now there's a hole over here where we can pass our cable through, like so. Bring it out. Okay, so what I attempted to do did work, I suppose. For now, it's working. Okay. As soon as it's plugged in, everything will be okay. Nope, it is not long enough. So we'll have to bring it out. And I suppose we can just plug it in normally. I suppose we could route it from... Because I gotta keep in mind the video card's gonna take up a lot of room. So I gotta make sure I have enough leeway with that. Even that's not long enough. So these are the things about building computers. You always gotta, like, there's always a challenge in something. You know what, we're going to connect it normally and we'll arrange the video card after. Okay. I'll see what we can do is we can probably pass it through over here. That should do it. Hopefully. What I am worried about is maybe the video card might be blocking it. Another challenge for later, I suppose. So now we'll just connect the USB front header, the 3.0. Again, same principle, pass it in back. Bring it out from here, turn, and we'll clip her in place. Is it in? Okay, it's in. So now we'll do the front port LEDs. We'll do all the front port umbilicals, like the power switch and all these. So this one appears to be the power LED. There's the positive and negative. Okay. Speaker, power LED, hard drive LED. Positive, negative. Okay. So the negative goes on this side, and the positive will go on this side, according to what the motherboard says. Now, if you mess up one of these connectors, it's okay, your computer will not blow up, it just won't work. So, got the reset switch, seems to be on the bottom. Over here like that, like so. We got the power switch, which goes right next to it, like so. Oh, missed the connection. No problem, you just take it out, put it back in. Now there's an optional speaker connection on top, but I don't have that, so guess I can't use it. Now the hard drive LED will just go right under the power LED. Okay, did that go in? Yes, no, maybe, yes, clearly. Alright. So, now that these are all connected, we have one more front port umbilical to do. I'm just thinking now. I'm wondering if I'll route them in back. Yes I will. So let's take all them out very gently. You don't want to put the pins. Now, you don't just take your time and build it the way you want it. That's why I'm doing this right now. So I'm going to take them all one at a time and pass them through the back. Pass it through the middle. Well, I have way more wire than I want, so I can easily just take it and put it through the bottom. Like that. And this is the reset switch. So if I remember correctly, and yes, I am not wrong, it goes at the very end. So this is the power LED, positive, negative. Same principle. Pass it back. Bring it in. And it's positive, then negative. So we'll put the positive and then the negative. Like that. Okay, so let's get the hard drive LED, because it goes right under. Pass it through the back. Bring it under. And put it in. Alright. One more. The power switch. Bring it out. Pass it around. And put it in right next to the reset switch. Now we have one more, the HD audio. Now, from what I read, that goes over there. So we're just gonna go bring it around. I'm gonna bring it around, or this is gonna be a tight fit. If you really think about it. The video card's gonna have a lovely time trying to fit itself in there. No light against it. Go in or no? Did it go in? Yes, it did. Alright, so that's all the front port umbilicals. So now
Those are all
that
installed.
everything we have so far is connected, let's go ahead and put in the video card. Now this is the GeForce GTX 650 Ti. It's a pretty decent card. For the money, you cannot go wrong. And it's got its beautiful packaging. Again, beautiful packaging. Alright, so a lot of stuff goes into this card. So we have, in here we have some instruction manuals and the driver CD. Driver's GPU tweak. This is like to, you know, tweak the CPU, overclock, stuff like that. Have the additional padding, more padding. Oh! I don't think we're going to really have a problem getting this in. Yeah, this will be perfect. Just want to check if there's any other additional cabling or anything in here. No. So, let's go ahead and put this thing in. Let's open it up. It's in this anti-static bag. Don't touch the circuit board. This is what it looks like. It's got dual fans. It's got the DVI, HDMI, VGA, all that you need. It's even got a protector on the circuit over here to put it in. Now that I really look at it, what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to attach it to the top one. And we'll see how that goes. So just take off the protector. Would I be able to fit it in there? Okay. So yes, we'll use the top one. Now this requires 2 expansion slots to come out. So I assume that's the 2 top ones. I can't exactly get in there. It's a thumb screw design. I can't exactly get in there. So I'll take my screwdriver just so I can get it out. There's just thumb screws. One thumb screw. Two thumb screws. So let's take these expansions, put it in. Oh, I appear to have taken out the wrong expansion slot on top. It's really the second and third one. That's not a problem. You just pop it back in. Pop it back in. Just like that. Take a thumb screw. Put it in. May need a screwdriver for this because it's tight. It's a tight fit for your hands. If I can just. Yep, screwdriver's required. I got the expansion slot in. Now we'll take the second one out. There we go. So all these little peripherals will be going into the motherboard box so that we can have them when we need them again. There we go. That's better. So this notch needs to come out, like so. Okay, so the video card's in. We can put those expansion thumb screws on. You can put those thumb screws in. And it's a very flush look with the case. Now we put in the second one. Alright, this video card does not seem to be moving, so we can just put the notch back in. Like so. Hang on. So there's the video card. Now it takes a 3-pin PSI E connector. I don't suppose there's any use trying to pass it around since we have so many cables running back, so I'm just gonna put it in there like this. There. That's power. Now, I unfortunately forgot before to put the fans in, so we're just going to do that now. Now there's a little fan header in there. Knot appears to be on this side, so we just slide this in like so. This will connect to the fan, like that. Get connected, everything's good. There's another fan in the front. This one I'll have to untie because of how long it is. They're both 3-pin fans. The good part about having this case is that I can see what I'm putting in from the top because it's not a hard case to use. Okay, that appears to be everything. Now, before we wire tie everything and close up the case and install our operating system, which is Windows 7 Home Premium, let's just give this computer a test run. Now that I have all my equipment to test it out, keyboard, the Mad Catz keyboard that I showed earlier, this one. It's an amazing gaming keyboard. I've been using it on my laptop to play games like Star Wars The Old Republic. I played some Fallout 3 with it. I played some Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Very good keyboard, very nice, very slick. I really like this keyboard, no complaints. On my wireless mouse, the monitor, this is not the monitor I will be using, but it's just for our test run. So let's just connect everything. All you want to do is connect keyboard, mouse, monitor, nothing else. No speakers, nothing else. So let's connect the keyboard, let's connect the mouse. I put the wireless input in. I'm going to put the Mad Catz keyboard in as well. Putting the Mad Catz keyboard in the USB 2.0. Don't try putting it in the 3.0. it won't necessarily work. Just put in the 2.0. I think that's the best way to look at it. We're going to connect the monitor into the VGA connection on the video card. Screw it in a little bit. Give it some okay, perfect. Now that I hooked up the keyboard mouse, I'll give power to the monitor. Then I'll get the power cord from the power supply. We'll hook that up. We'll get the power cord. Just throwing out that Q-tip. Power cord. So this is the power cord that comes with the power supply, the Cooler Master Xtreme 2. Plug it in. Oh my god, the power does not reach. So I'll have to bring the computer up a little bit. I'll move the monitor accordingly. Okay. Just give the monitor a little room. And this is the big moment, guys. Little error. I forgot to flip the power switch on the power supply. So I'll flip the power supply on, put the monitor on. Let's turn it on. Let's see if this thing works. So the two fans are spinning. I can see the front fan spinning. Yep, we see ASUS, Inspiring Innovation. We got to the BIOS. So yes, thanks for watching, guys. All we have to do left is install the operating system, which is Windows 7 Home Premium, and we got ourselves a gaming computer. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, as this is up on Matthew Mazur's YouTube channel.